From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Thursday, October 1st, and right now on Good Morning Indiana. Doctors are urging you to get your flu shot this year and ease the strain on hospitals. This morning, where you can go to get vaccinated for free.
And I'm not trying to be the Grinch or maybe appropriately the witch, more appropriately, the witch who ruined Halloween. But I don't want COVID-19 to take that role either.
The state is following the CDC's recommendations when it comes to celebrating Halloween safely. Working for you, we're breaking down the latest guidance.
We don't have a bank. We don't have adequate access to healthy food sources. We don't have great sidewalks. We don't have just the basic essentials for a great quality well-being.
An East Side community lacking several resources will now be the site of a new bank. How the project is bringing more than just financial help to those in need.
Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, October the 1st. It is a new month. If you head outdoors today, either walking or bike riding, you will also begin to enjoy the delight of the fall foliage. I cannot wait, Lauren and Todd, to head down to either Brown County or Bloomington to see all the different colors as they change. It's just beautiful out there right now.
Yeah, we'll have to.
I mean, not right now. It's dark right now, but when the sun comes out. You know what I mean?
We'll have to get the fall camera out there to, for the leaf cam, if you will, Todd, as the month goes on.
The leaf cam is back, but as Raphael mentioned, I can't show you much right now because it's dark. But I did drive down to southern Indiana this past weekend, and as Raphael mentioned, the leaves changing a little bit earlier compared to previous years. They're a little ahead of schedule because it's been so dry. So be a good weekend, at least on Saturday, maybe to go for a car ride here across central Indiana to do a little leaf peeping if you so choose. 40 in Peru right now, 49 in Muncie, 45 in Indianapolis. Some of these darker shades of blue, though, that you see there, those are temperatures that are in the 30s. The view from downtown to the north shows no visibility issues. That's the good news. We have completely clear skies to start your day, lots of sunshine to get you going. But eventually, these clouds and a few showers are going to start to make their way into the area. All the showers are going to be very spotty in nature later on this afternoon, but don't be shocked if you see them. You may want to have the umbrella handy in your car this afternoon. I don't think you need to carry it around all day, but the day starts off great with the sunshine. Quick warming, 59 degrees by the noon hour. Just not a whole lot of warming beyond that, as high temperatures will only climb up into the low 60s as those clouds start to build in.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at the south split as you're traveling westbound on I-70 here. We're getting a look at where you'll exit onto Meridian Street. If you look closely, you can see a stalled vehicle there in the shoulder blocking the right lane. So just be aware of that. You can still get off on the exit there. So that is good news. We'll continue to keep a close eye on traffic as you're heading out the door this Thursday morning. The time right now is 6:04. State police are investigating after the death of a semi-driver in an overnight crash. This crash happened around 11 o'clock in the westbound lanes of I-465 near Allisonville Road. Police say the driver went off the interstate, causing the truck to roll over and hit a light pole. Right now, it's still unclear what caused the driver to veer off the road. Police say no one else was hurt. The driver's name has not been released pending family notification.
So, Lauren, here we go. Let's talk about your health right now. Health officials are really hoping that you'll roll up your sleeve and get that flu shot right now this season. And WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with all of your options. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So I'd say right now we're in probably one of the most fun places to be in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the Children's Museum, where today is only $5 to get in from 4 to 8. But also with that admission, you're also going to get a flu shot with that. So I'm here this morning with Adam Carrs, Infection Prevention Director. So tell us, we've been talking about how quick and easy flu shots are. Tell us about the process that's going to take place here.
Yeah, so the process this evening is any patron that comes to the museum between 4 and 8 and pays their admission price will be eligible to receive a flu vaccine if they choose to do so. It'll be a quick process. There's some consent forms to fill out. And then once you go ahead and get in and sit down for the shot, it should take about 5 minutes or less per person, depending on the size of your group that is with you.
Okay. And obviously there's going to be kids here. There's going to be kids. So do you guys have anything to help make this an easier process for the kids and for the family?
Absolutely. Getting a shot can be a scary event sometimes, and then we've all had to experience it. Sometimes it can be a little scary. Yes, we have some of our child life specialists from Riley that are going to be here to help with distraction for our younger patients, sometimes even our older patients that may not want to get their flu shot, to just help them get through the process a little bit easier, have some great techniques to help with that.
All right. Well, thank you for being here this morning. I know I'm one of those adults who needs that distraction during the flu shot season. But as you can see here at the Children's Museum, they do have these X's marking the floor for 6 feet. We've noticed that they do have one-way arrows now, so it's not just a come and go as you please. And then also, again, this is for the first 500 people who are here, but you do need to get your tickets in advance. You cannot get tickets tonight once you get here. So you can do that by going to thechildrensmuseum.org. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
All right, Kelsey, you can do it there. Thanks so much. Let's take a turn right now to the latest data from the state health officials on the continuing impact the coronavirus pandemic is having on our lives here in the Hoosier State. We can tell you 20 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths in our state to 3,405. Another 227 Hoosiers are believed to have died with the virus based on their clinical diagnosis. 965 new cases of COVID-19 were also reported. More than 120,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus so far. So let's break down the numbers and look a little bit closer. State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bach says while Hoosiers under 30 previously accounted for the most number of cases, we're starting to see those numbers level off. Dr. Bach also said that now we are seeing a rise in cases in Hoosiers ages 40 to 70. Raphael?
And Lauren, when we take a closer look at the colleges and universities in our state, some campuses are reporting more than 1,000 cases of the virus. This graph shows the total number of COVID-19 cases, including both students and employees, from the university dashboards. While IU Bloomington and Ball State University have more than 1,000 cases, the recent number of new cases, we're told, is decreasing. Governor Holcomb attributes that to universities taking recommendations from health officials very seriously.
I've been very proud to see in some university towns, they're reacting very quickly to this ripple effect, and they're clamping down. And this is not a joke. This is not they're not in denial. And so those decisions to make sure that they're addressing folks who are flaunting or ignoring good recommendations and advice that keeps those rates low, I think those will serve as examples.
We have a much more detailed look at the mitigation efforts on campuses, as well as a link to the several colleges and university COVID dashboards up running right now on our website, WRTV.com.
And Raphael, as you begin to make those Halloween plans, Indiana Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bach is offering some guidance for the Halloween celebrations.
And I'm not trying to be the Grinch or maybe appropriately the witch, more appropriately, the witch who ruined Halloween. But I don't want COVID-19 to take that role either.
Well, the state is following the CDC's recommendations, putting Halloween activities into 3 different categories: lower risk, moderate risk, and higher risk. Celebrations with just your own family in your own home, that's considered low risk. Traditional trick-or-treating and crowded indoor costume parties considered higher risk. There are some key things you need to remember if you're going out, according to Dr. Bach.
A costume mask is not a substitute for a cloth mask. A costume mask should not be used unless it's made of 2 or more layers of breathable fabric that covers the mouth and nose and doesn't leave gaps around the face. Instead, consider using a Halloween-themed mask. And if you're going to a haunted house or any other scary event where screaming might occur, you should stay even more than 6 feet away from others who aren't in your family to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19.
If you may have COVID or you may have been exposed to someone with the virus, Dr. Bach stresses you should not participate in any in-person Halloween events, and that includes passing out candy to trick-or-treaters.
Not a trick, but it could be a treat for thousands, helping a neighborhood thrive. Up next, a plan to bring access to money and other resources to a community left behind.
And many Americans are still working from home, and now may be the time to revisit your company's policy on reimbursement for certain expenses. After the break, what experts say you need to know. Todd.
And Lauren, it's a clear morning here across central Indiana, and we'll have plenty of sunshine to start the day. But as the day goes on, we will build in the potential for some scattered showers here this afternoon. Friday and Saturday are dry. Sunday, the best chance of rain in our extended forecast. We'll talk all about it coming up when we continue here on Good Morning Indiana in just a few minutes.
Welcome back. So today we'll learn more about new relief for hotels, restaurants, and other businesses right here in Marion County. Leaders will announce details on a hospitality industry grant program around 2 o'clock. The grants will be paid through $7.5 million in federal COVID-19 relief funding. Marion County businesses, notably the bars and clubs, they've been under the tighter pandemic restrictions than the rest of the state due to the much higher number of COVID cases here. And the hospitality industry here in downtown Indianapolis has really been hit hard by the cancellation of major sporting events and conventions.
Let's talk money. A new bank will soon be up and running in part of the east side, long not home to any financial institutions for years. The new First Merchants Bank opens near 30th Street and Keystone sometime this fall. Staff say they recognize the need for a bank in the 46218 zip code. It's among the many conversations the company has had with residents. The new institution will bring several programs with a goal of helping that area grow as well as prosper.
That is a big part of that growth. It's a big part of bringing good ways for individuals to be able to save, for individuals to be able to buy their homes, to find ways to invest, and we want to be in part of the growth with them.
We're going to have a first-time homebuyer product with no money down. There's going to be grant money available and low credit scores as low as 600.
Here's some background on this developing story. First Merchants Bank was at the center of a 2019 lawsuit from the U.S. Department of Justice accusing the bank of redlining and avoiding offering services in predominantly black areas of Indianapolis. Now, without admitting any wrongdoing, First Merchants Bank settled that lawsuit and agreed to open a full-service bank in one of the city's predominantly black neighborhoods.
Well, Raphael, the U.S. Senate has passed a spending bill to keep the government running through December 11th. This comes as Americans continue to struggle financially due to the ongoing pandemic about a month before the election. The measure includes billions for a farm bailout program, as well as money for pandemic food assistance programs for families. The two additions marked the only pandemic-related relief in that bill. Though he missed the midnight deadline, President Trump is expected to sign that measure today. Now, meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says that he and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi are, quote, going to give it one more serious try to pass a coronavirus aid package. House Democrats passed a $2.2 trillion stimulus relief package last week. It includes another round of stimulus payments to Americans, more PPP funding, and money for the airline industry, among other things. Mnuchin's proposal is closer to $1.5 trillion. The talks between him and Speaker Pelosi will resume this morning. The House is expected to vote on a plan later today.
So with many of us now working from home, as you can tell, some companies may want to think about revisiting their reimbursement policies. Experts say most company policies tend to offer more general guidelines for short-term reimbursements, but for the long term, employers should think about standardizing those amounts. Revisiting policies also allows companies to double-check if they're in compliance with local laws. And if you're working from home for the long term, you may want to approach your company for reimbursements.
Kind of have some prepared arguments to kind of defend your position, not just so much of coming off of, I want X amount of money. It's more in, hey, you know, looking at things and expenses, this is going on longer. This is more of a business need.
Employers may also want to consider covering expenses for a more efficient and comfortable workspace at home, like extra monitors or ergonomic chairs, to avoid those long-term injuries, as well as reimbursement for high-speed internet. On this Thursday, it's going to be a great day in central Indiana, and our Todd Clausen has your perfect forecast. Good morning, TK.
Raphael, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. We're working our way throughout the week, and overall the weather's been decent. Yesterday, I knew there were a few spotty showers in the afternoon hours, but we cleared the skies out yesterday evening, and what a beautiful view here from our camera from the top of the Salesforce Tower looking off to the west. Full moon this morning with a crystal clear sky. So After Good Morning Indiana, go out there and take a peek at this moon, the full hunter's moon, happening a little earlier here, obviously on October 1st than it normally does, but a spectacular sight in the sky here this morning. And the skies aren't going to stay clear all day long. Unfortunately, we're going to start to build in some cloud cover once again, and as those clouds build in after the sunny start this morning, some showers will be around as well. And just like we've done the past few days, as soon as the sun sets, that's when the clouds will start to fade away. All the showers, though, will be pretty spotty as we get into the afternoon hours. Temperatures in the 40s here this morning in all locations now. 40 in Greencastle. There's 150 there in Bloomington. 43 in Tipton. 40s the current temperature up in Peru, and 42 degrees as you make your way into the Thorntown area with the clear skies. But as we expand out, we still kind of have this big swirl that's around. It's an area of low pressure that's to our north, and it's just keeping things a little unsettled. So as we build in the sunshine throughout the morning hours, that heating actually helps to flare up additional cloud cover and additional showers as well. So look for some spotty ones to build in here later on this afternoon after a dry start to the day. You can see the timestamp here, mid-afternoon. We'll build these showers in with a few pockets of maybe heavier downpours. And as these come through, you might get a quick little burst of rain, but they're scattered in nature. So anything you do see is not going to be very prolonged. It's not going to stick around in your neighborhood for an extended period of time. It moves through pretty quickly. But nonetheless, if you do have errands to run or you're going to be out and about this afternoon, just know that those showers will be possible. Highs today a little cooler than they have been, in the low to 60s across the area. About 63 in Indianapolis, 65 in Martinsville, about 65 in Columbus, a little warmer to the south. The further south you are, a little less in the way of a chance of seeing the rainfall. Now this evening, look what happens once the sun sets. We cool off quickly by midnight down to 49 degrees. And then tomorrow we start you off with temperatures that will be in the 40s as well. It's a cool start. A jacket will be needed for your Friday, but tomorrow the clouds probably a little thicker in the afternoon hours, and as a result, temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler with highs that are only going to be in the upper 50s across the area. As far as your weekend goes, notice this low temperature on Saturday morning, 39 degrees. That is in the city. Outlying areas going to be even cooler. Our first potential frost of the season. Saturday's the better day in the afternoon for the weekend, though. 61 degrees, 59 on Sunday as we build in some scattered showers. Then as we work our way into next week, sunshine with a warming trend heading into Wednesday. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at 2 traffic alerts we have for you this morning. Here's a look in the downtown area at the South Split. You're looking at the westbound lanes getting off there on Meridian Street, and there you can see the flashing lights. This is due to a disabled vehicle. It's partially blocking the ramp getting off on Meridian Street, so just be aware of that. If you're traveling through the area, you can just go up a little farther and take West Street as a detour. Traffic's picking up in that area. Another traffic alert for you. You can't see it here from our camera, but we do have a crash on I-74 between Dandy Trail and I-465 there on the west side, so just be aware of that as you're traveling on the west side this morning. We'll keep you updated on both of those issues. Raphael?
We now have a moment of remembrance. This morning we honor a survivor of the USS Indianapolis. Robert Bob Witzig died Tuesday evening at the age of 96. Bob was one of the few remaining Indy crew members who served aboard that ship. In recent years, he reconnected with other survivors by attending their annual reunion. As you know, the USS Indianapolis was sunk by the Japanese in 1945, killing hundreds. As of today, there are now 7 survivors remaining. Earlier this year, survivors Tony King and Jim Jarvis died. We thank them all for their service.
And at 6:21, Raphael, we want to wish a very happy retirement to Indiana State Police K-9 Barrett. The K-9 officer was named after Trooper Daniel Barrett, who was killed in the line of duty back in January 27, 2008. Barrett and his partner, Senior Trooper Matthew Wilson, have patrolled together since 2012. The two are responsible for the seizure of a significant amount of narcotics and the apprehension of violent criminals. The most notable was last November when Barrett apprehended the man suspected of shooting and killing Fisher Police K-9 Harley. Barrett will now spend his retirement with the Wilson family, enjoying some well-deserved relax and rest, and we wish him the very best. A good boy there. So millions of people, they've been working from home for about a couple months now. But watch out, cities and states may still come at you for the income tax. What you need to know so you don't waste your money.
And Lauren, good morning to Logansport, Lebanon, and Liberty as we take a live look at the city's west side at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Time to go racing at the track. What a view of Indianapolis. Take a look at that. You are watching Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, right here on WRTV. What a sight.
The time right now is 6:25 in Raphael. Let's talk about what is trending at 6.
So let me take you to Florida. Would you like to go to Florida this morning?
Hey, that sounds great.
Here we go. 6.5 months after hockey was put on pause due to the pandemic, the Tampa Bay Lightning raised the Stanley Cup in their hometown. And they did it in style. The team celebrated its win in a historic year with a boat parade. How about that? And that was followed by a public celebration at the stadium. The Lightning's owner says winning in 2020 is a more impressive feat than winning in a normal year. I would love to see a boat parade on Geist for any reason, right? Let's just do it.
Very fun. So, Raphael, here's a sweet story for you today. A young boy with a rare blood disease can thank a news reporter in Colorado Springs for a life-saving donation. So 2 years ago, Megan Heiler here swabbed her cheeks to join the nationwide bone marrow registry. Something easy that we can all do. There she is. And just a month ago, she got a call saying that she was the perfect match to save an 8-year-old boy's life. Doctors told her that her match was someone with a rare disease that's so rare that it only affects 1 in a million people in the world. This week, Megan flew out to Chicago for the surgery, and the boy received bone marrow, and he's now beginning a new chapter in his life. That is super cool.
That is cool because, you know, good people do good things every single day. So good job to her. And a big congratulations to Brian and Christopher Ross. They are today's hometown heroes here in Central Indiana. They were nominated for their hard work in the food service area at the Otterbein Senior Life Center, serving seniors in Franklin and Johnson County. So a big shout out to them and to all of our essential workers. Now time to check your forecast with our very own Todd Clausen. Good morning, TK.
Raphael, good morning. A cool start with temperatures in the 40s. Definitely need to bundle up a little bit if you're going to be walking out and about here this morning for maybe a little bit of exercise, or you may have to warm the car up if you're heading off to work. But eventually high temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s across the area. We start off sunny, then turn it partly cloudy, and some spotty PM showers will be a possibility here across the area. But the next couple days we will be running well below normal. Our average high is 71 degrees. We will barely get to 60 tomorrow on Friday and then again on Sunday. Eventually, though, next week we get a little closer to average. But for the next few days, make sure you have that jacket handy. You'll need it both in the morning and for some of you in the afternoon hours as well.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, several cities and states have passed laws that require you to pay income tax in the city where your company is located. Working for you, John Matarese explains why this is and how you can prepare come tax time so that you don't waste your money.
Millions of Americans have been working from home since late March when the pandemic hit. But watch out, cities and states may still come to you for taxes next April.
How can I help you today?
If you're working from home, you shouldn't have to pay income tax to some place where you don't live or work, right? Well, don't be so sure. Since the pandemic began, a growing number of cities and states have passed laws requiring you to pay tax in the municipality where your company is located. It's all about the money. Cities like New York and Chicago would be decimated if all the people now working remotely no longer paid New York tax. Live in Florida but work for a company based in New York City? Watch out. New York may still demand income tax, even though Florida has no state income tax. It's a rule called convenience of the employer, though there's really nothing convenient about it. Your best bet to figure out if you have to pay any taxes next April is to check with a tax professional. As always, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, here is your 6:30 news feed. A murder suspect who was 14 years old when he was accused of killing a man at a Dollar General store will now be charged as an adult. Eric Copeland is accused of killing 37-year-old Gregory Raley in December of 2018. Raley was shot during a robbery at the general store on East Washington Street in Cumberland.
Well, he was a legendary high school basketball coach, and he was the last men's coach at IU before Bobby Knight took over the program. The Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame says that Jerry Oliver died this week at the age of 89. Oliver led George Washington High School in Indy to a state championship back in 1965. He later coached at Warren Central and served as one of Slick Leonard's assistant coaches with the Pacers in the 1970s.
UPS is hiring Hoosiers. The company says it expects to hire more than 1,500 seasonal workers in the Indianapolis area. UPS is looking for package handlers, driver helpers, and drivers for tractor trailers and package cars. You can find out more information on how to apply for all of those jobs at hiringhoosiers.com. And Lauren, on this Thursday morning, a new month, and our Todd has been delivering on a cool forecast all week, and it's been a welcome treat. Todd Clausen, I nominate you for a pay raise.
Oh my goodness, Todd, I think he'll take it.
I'll take it.
And Todd, a lot of people who love the fall, they are loving this weather.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be very fall-like, not only here today, but through the weekend, as temperatures are going to continue to run a little bit below normal. And we actually have some rainfall mixed in as well. So you need to grab before you go as you walk out the door this morning. Well, you definitely need the sunglasses this morning. They're probably not as much of a necessity later on this afternoon, and you definitely need the medium weight jacket. I did not highlight the umbrella, even though there are a few showers in the forecast as we get into the afternoon hours, but it's just not something you need to carry around all day long. 40 in Peru, 45 in Indy, 50 in Bloomington right now, with skies that are clear. Beautiful full moon out there this morning if you want to take a look at that. But you see a few of these showers. They're going to rotate through the area as we get into the afternoon hours. So we start off mostly sunny, turn it partly cloudy by the noon hour, and then mostly cloudy in the afternoon and evening with high temperatures in the low 60s. I'll detail those shower chances this afternoon for you in more detail coming up in just a few minutes, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now over here on the west side. A traffic alert for drivers who use I-74 near Dandy Trail. Really, the issue is between I-465 and State Road 267. You may hit a pocket of a slowdown as you're traveling there due to a crash that we're monitoring this morning. It's in the eastbound lanes. We'll continue to keep a close eye on that and let you know if there are any problems. But you can see right here from our camera, it looks like things are still moving over there on the west side. It is 6:32. We first told you on Wednesday about a court ruling that could impact your vote this election season. A federal judge has extended the deadline for your ballot to arrive at your county's election office in order for it to be counted. Now, Raphael, the new deadline is November 13th, as long as your ballot is postmarked on or before the election day, which we know is on November the 3rd.
That's right. And Lauren, in Marion County alone, as you may recall, hundreds of absentee ballots were not counted for the primary election in June because they missed the deadline. WRTV's Cornelius Hawker spoke to one of the women who helped make this change possible.
I had not been informed that it had not been counted.
Crystal Hammond is one of the thousands of people whose mail-in ballot was not counted during Indiana's primary election. The reason? It was delivered after the noon deadline on Election Day.
I was just shocked and surprised that it didn't get counted and that there was no system to even follow up with me and tell me.
She was contacted by Common Cause Indiana and from there became part of a lawsuit to change that rule.
If the lawsuit had not been filed, I wouldn't have even known.
Voters, we don't have any control on that mail-in ballot once we drop it in the slot.
Julia Vaughn, policy director for Common Cause Indiana, says now, as long as voters get their mail-in ballot postmarked by November 3rd and it reaches its destination by November 13th, your vote will be counted.
We're very grateful that the judge recognized that voters can't and shouldn't be disenfranchised by this arbitrary deadline any longer.
Julia tells me this is not a new idea.
We already allow voters who cast a provisional ballot and those who vote from overseas or in the military. They already get the 10-day window. So we're simply extending that window to all mail-in voters.
But even with this extension, some people are still feeling uneasy about mailing in their ballot.
The question is, are you going to do mail-in voting this time or?
No, I will not. I made the statement once that had happened to me, I just decided I would crawl to the polls if I had to and to cast my ballot this time. It's too important.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, WRTV.
Cornelius, thank you. Julia Vaughn with Common Cause. She is hoping that the ruling will stand and will not be challenged by Indiana's Attorney General Curtis Hill. The Attorney General's office does say that they're reviewing this matter and the ruling and considering all of their options. Now, you still have time to register to vote. The deadline is Monday. You can register online at indianavoters.in.gov. And many groups will be hosting in-person registration events in the coming days, including Ivy Tech. A drive-through voter registration goes from 9 to 6 on Friday at the campus on Fall Creek Parkway between Illinois and Capitol near the downtown area. Lauren?
Raphael, let's dig deeper into a troubling trend in our state right now when it comes to COVID-19. Hospitals across Indiana, some of them are admitting more COVID patients, and the state's daily rolling average for the positivity rate, it's starting to creep upwards again. Healthcare workers tell us that they're concerned about what's to come this winter season. Frontline healthcare workers are worried that people will get complacent now that we've moved to stage 5 of reopening. State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bonk says the increase is not due to Indiana moving into stage 5. She says those being hospitalized now likely contracted the virus 2 weeks ago before the state moved out of stage 4.5.
They are all reporting increased numbers of cases in the hospital. They are all doing extremely well and did not feel like they needed anything additional from the State Department of Health at this point in time, but know that we're here to help at any point in time that they would need it.
Now, we can tell you that not all hospitals in central Indiana are experiencing an increase in COVID-19 patients. A Franciscan health nurse tells us that their numbers have continued to track downwards since the peak in April and May.
If you haven't done it yet, doctors say you need to get your flu shot. When? Now. Next, a live report from Kelsey Anderson on how doctors say those shots could save even more lives this flu season than in the past. Thank you for starting your morning with us right here on Good Morning Indiana.
Welcome back. Let's turn now to the coronavirus pandemic and the impact it's having here on our state. Health officials report the Hoosier State rounding out the month of September with 20 more coronavirus-related deaths. Now, that's the same number they reported on Tuesday. Since the pandemic began, more than 3,400 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. State health officials also report 965 new cases of COVID-19. Since the pandemic began, more than 120,000 coronavirus cases have been reported here in Indiana. So, Raphael, we know flu season, it's now underway, and it's more concerning this year since we're still in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic.
And Lauren, health experts across the country and in our state are encouraging you to get your flu shot really soon. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what you can do today to help you and your family. Kelsey, good morning to you, and fill us in with this key information.
Hey, good morning. So we've told you for about a month now that health professionals are worried about a possible twin-demic with the coronavirus and the flu. And that's why folks from Riley Children's Hospital, they're going to be here today at the Children's Museum giving out those flu shots from 4 to 8 because time is ticking and flu season is here. So I'm here this morning with Adam Kars. And so tell me a little bit about, these flu shots and what people are going to feel afterward.
Yeah, so when you receive your flu shot, it's very common after the flu shot, you may be a little sore in the area where you receive the injection. That'll go away within a day or so. Also, some people do report feeling a little bit tired or run down for the next day or the next morning. That's totally normal. What that is your body's immune system is developing antibodies to protect you from those strains of flu.
Okay, perfect. And so tell me a little bit about, some of those symptoms, the lethargicness, that does seem like one of those COVID-19 symptoms. So if I have that, if I'm lethargic after my shot, what should I do?
Yeah, so what would I recommend doing if you're still running into having symptoms that haven't gone away after a day or so, I'd recommend following up with your physician. You might need to get checked out with that.
Okay, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And as you can see here, we do have some X's on the ground here at the Children's Museum. These are for social distancing, and some of those places that were once a free-for-all, go whichever way you want, those are now one-way hallways. always, one-way entrance, one-way exit, just to keep everybody safe. And of course, masks are going to be required. Again, these flu shots are today from 4 to 8, and you must have a ticket beforehand. They're not going to sell you tickets at the door, so you can go to childrensmuseum.org to get that ticket. And again, it's for the first 500 guests today from 4 to 8 at the Children's Museum. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. So drivers from NASCAR will be making a lot more turns here in Indy. Next, the big change happening next year to an IMS summer tradition.
And today is the day that we dig into the archives, of course. Coming up, we'll take a trip on a train and think about you riding along for Throwback Thursday. But first, let's check out your forecast with our very own Todd Clausen. All aboard, Todd.
Yeah, as we go into now the new month, let's look back quickly before we look forward. Kind of our own Throwback Thursday to just last month, September. 0.12 inches of rain, so just over 1/10 of an inch of rain, making it the driest September on record. We do have some spotty showers in our forecast as we work our way throughout the day today, and we have more for the weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up in your 7-day planning forecast right here on Good Morning Indiana.
The time right now is 6:45. The Satanic Temple has filed a lawsuit saying an advertising company will not display their billboards here in Indiana. The billboards promote what the temple says is a ritual to help people bypass strict abortion laws. The group tried to place the billboards in Indiana and Arkansas, but they say Lamar Advertising refused. The federal lawsuit was filed in Arkansas, and it accuses the ad company of religious discrimination. So far, Lamar has not responded to a request for comment. Well, Raphael, the Brickyard 400 has been a part of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's annual calendar for 27 years.
And NASCAR will be back in 2021, taking kind of a new twist on its running at the Brickyard. Here are the details. IMS now announcing a doubleheader, the Brickyard weekend next summer. NASCAR and IndyCar will both run on the Speedway's road course on August the 14th and the 15th. The two series raced together for the first time here on the weekend of July the 4th, as you may recall. But the Xfinity Series went on the road course, and that race was a big hit. So NASCAR has decided to move the Cup cars there next summer. Drivers from both series are buzzing with some excitement about this new combo.
It's about putting on the race that the fans want to see. And so obviously change is going to happen anytime you open it up for that form. And I'm okay with that. That's what makes our world turn, is our race fans.
There's no reason to work against each other. These sports can help lift motorsports together. And hopefully that can happen. And a weekend like this is a great opportunity to do so.
And another race weekend kicks off in Speedway later today with practice and qualifying for the Harvest GP. Tickets are still available for Friday and Saturday's IndyCar races on the road course. Tickets for today are $15. Now they go up to $25 and $35 for race day. Up to 10,000 race fans will be allowed each day. All tickets this year are digital, with mobile and print-at-home options still available. Of course, let's drop the green flag as Todd Clausen on this Thursday has your forecast. Good morning, TK.
And Raphael, good morning. We're off to a great start on this Thursday morning with clear skies, albeit a little cool for maybe some of you out there. You'll definitely need the jacket, but here's the view off to the west. The full Hunter's Moon in full display here this morning, but it's getting close to setting, so if you want to check it out, walk out your door here on the next commercial break of Good Morning Indiana, and you'll be able to check that out. It'll be pretty bright once again tomorrow morning, but today is the actual full moon. 40 right now in Peru, as well as Greencastle, 47 in Martinsville, 42 in Greenfield, 41 is the current temperature as you make your way over into the Richmond area. And throughout the day today, we have lots of sunshine to start your day. Very similar to what we've seen the past few days, with temperatures that will be in the 40s, so you'll definitely need to bundle up. By the noon hour, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and a temperature that'll be hovering right around 59 degrees. But as we build in the cloud cover throughout the afternoon hours, you see temperatures just don't really move a whole whole lot. They're pretty steady throughout the afternoon hours, and with those clouds will also come the chance of a few spotty showers in the forecast, and some of those clouds already starting to make their way into eastern Illinois. We have some spotty showers up to the north, and these will pinwheel through the area. You notice this big rotation here, counterclockwise flow. That's the area of low pressure that's stationed to our north. So as far as these showers go, they'll start to blossom probably mid-afternoon, and they'll be with us into the early evening hours before they start to fade away. But within some of these showers, there could be a few heavier, quick downpours. The thing is, they're not going to linger very long in your neighborhood if you see them at all, but they could put down a quick downpour before they move on. Thursday, 10 p.m., some scattered showers. They'll start to fade away fairly quickly after the sun sets. So if you do have evening plans, I think you're okay. There could be a shower still around at 7, 8 o'clock, but otherwise clearing skies. Temperatures will fall into the 50s. And then as we work our way throughout the day tomorrow, it's a cooler day with more in the way of cloud cover around. We start in the mid 40s, end right around 60 degrees for your high temperature. And then overnight into Saturday morning, that's when we experience the coldest temperatures we have in our 7-day planning forecast. As the skies clear Friday night into Saturday and the winds calm, that's good setup for some patchy frost to develop across the area. 36 Saturday morning in Peru, about 39 in Indy, 37 in Columbus. So prepare yourself for that. As far as the weekend goes, Saturday is probably the better day. Despite the cold start, up to 61 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Once we get into the day on a Sunday, it's cooler with temperatures only in the 50s, and we'll also deal with some scattered rain showers making their way through the area. So your 7-day planning forecast remains very cool through about Monday. Our average high is 71 this time of year. Then we'll start to see the temperatures moderate as we head into Wednesday, but just get ready for a bunch of very cool nights here. And then during the afternoon hours, it turns pretty pleasant, except for Sunday when we deal with those showers moving through. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at this traffic alert for drivers out in Hancock County. Be aware of this. This happens around this time each morning. We have that construction blocking one right lane. Traffic moving over into the left lane is going slowly between State Road 109 and then just past State Road 9. So give yourself an extra 10 minutes or so if this is part of your commute. You can also take Washington Street as a detour.
Open the vault. It is now time, of course, for Throwback Thursday. And Lauren, it's now been a year since the end of the line for a train that took thousands of Hoosiers back and forth to Chicago for decades.
Yeah, and Raphael, we're talking about Amtrak's Hoosier State Line. It made its final departure a year ago after the legislature decided to end the state funding for the train. Well, the train service actually began exactly 40 years ago today. WRTV was there as Amtrak said all aboard for the first time on October 1st, 1980. The Hoosier State Line opened 1 year to the day after the previous train, the National Limited, was retired. WRTV spoke to then Indiana Senator Birch Bayh. He helped secure funding for the train and was on hand to christen it along with then Indianapolis Mayor Bill Hudnut. Senator Bayh was hopeful that Hoosiers would be riding the rails for a long time.
If we run it on time and people use it, it's sort of a chicken or egg situation. And I think this is a good response to the energy crisis. To use less oil, we can tell the sheiks and shahs and ayatollahs they can keep their oil, and we'll run on Amtrak.
Well, back in 1980, if you wanted to make a trip on the Hoosier State Line, a round-trip ticket for the 4.5-hour ride to Chicago would cost you $40. Even though the Hoosier State Line is no more, you can still take a train to Chicago 3 days a week with Amtrak's Cardinal Line. It is 6:52. We'll be right back here on Good Morning Indiana with your top stories. Welcome back. It is 6:55 this Thursday morning. Raphael, let's take a look at the top stories here on Good Morning Indiana.
Lauren, a semi-driver has died following a crash on the city's northeast side. This crash happened around 11 o'clock last night on westbound I-465 near Allisonville Road. Police say the driver went off the interstate, causing the truck to roll over and hit a light pole.
Well, investigators are trying to figure out why a man drove off I-465 and into this retention pond. That car was found in a pond off Pendleton Way on the northeast side. 44-year-old Ronald Wade was found dead inside the car. He had been reported missing on Monday.
The state says more than 2,300 people at the state's schools have tested positive for COVID-19 since the school year began. Indiana launched its school dashboard on Wednesday. It shows more than 1,600 students have tested positive, along with 335 teachers and 343 staff members. The state says the dashboard for now list is not comprehensive.
And later today, Raphael, we'll learn a little bit more about some new relief for hotels, restaurants, and other businesses right here in Marion County. Details of a hospitality industry grant program will be announced at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The hospitality industry, as we know, downtown has been hit really hard by the cancellation of major sports events and conventions, as well as stricter COVID-19 restrictions.
And now let's talk about your Thursday forecast with TK. Fill us in on this Thursday, Tom.
Yeah, getting off to a cool start here this morning, but with clear skies, temperatures are in the 40s. We're up to 64 this afternoon with mostly cloudy skies building in and a few spotty showers possible this afternoon as well. Tomorrow, high of only 59 degrees. Saturday morning, we start in the 30s. Saturday afternoon, 61 with mostly sunny skies. Then on Sunday, we'll build in scattered showers throughout the day. It's cool with highs only in the 50s.
All right, we're back in 25 minutes and right here on Good Morning America with your local news, weather, and traffic updates. Don't forget, your news can be found throughout the day right on the WRTV mobile app. Thanks for watching. We hope you have a great Thursday.